our shit is not together today.
You just tip it down slowly.
Yeah, I figured that out myself. But thank you.
Hey, buddy.
Here we go. Gotta get the puss in the shot. So there's the puss. Here we are. I'm still eating breakfast.
Just puss. Just came up for treats. Good boy. Puss was a little vocal monster this morning.
Oh my god, he would not shut up.
Meow, 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 all morning long.
So I was like up early and then kept waking up every fucking 10 minutes because of this asshole. Then had to finally fell asleep. And Allison's like, we need to do cockpit coffee. I'm like, oh shit.
Yep.
Alright, so still figuring out my life now.
I'm still figuring out my. Well, you're 55. You probably had to get at it. Get to it.
I'm in horrible form. I'm gonna watch that later.
What is it?
Sailing Noah. They're on a catamaran. They said they were caught in a horrible storm. I want to see how they handled it. How do I save that for later?
If you start playing it, then the next time you open your YouTube,
Save to watch later.
or you could do that.
I can do that. All right.
They're right down there. They're right down there. So, but I don't see any more treats from them.
All right. Bill Davis says, good morning.
Good morning.
Dean Beer says first, and then he said second.
Love it. Oh, and he's had enough love for
Pickles is not an asshole. All right.
No, most of the time.
No.
He has his moments.
My furry alarm clock.
Oh my goodness. He was just.
He isn't as bad as he was when we first got here.
Oh no, he just has the occasional day.
Yeah, and then when you tell him to be quiet, like he's so loud, then you tell him to be quiet, and most of the time he'll stop.
Oh well, he gives you one last word.
And yeah,
you say Pickles, be quiet, and he goes.
Yeah, but today he like you tell him to stop, and then he'd go off like a few paces away, and he'd start muttering to himself. You hear, it's like, oh my god.
He's a little old man. He's like 76 years old in human years.
He's not that little of an old man. You saw the friggin' he got up on this table that like I couldn't have got up on the other day somehow. Oh yeah, and he
yeah, I still don't understand how he got up there.
Funny. Christ, I come out. I was taking a nap the other day, and I come out, and there's this great big sign on the thing that says "Puss is not okay." And
because I went to take a nap after he went to take a nap.
His legs broken or all this. I'm like, what the fuck? And the cat, as soon as I read it, the cat comes around the corner. Nope, meow. I'm like, what the fuck? And he's just like,
fine.
He's fine, and he's like playing and running around, and I'm like, okay. And
so I'm puttering around doing some chores and cleaning when Galen first went to take a nap yesterday or the day before, whatever it was that happened, and. And Puss comes around the same corner, and he's dragging his right leg, and he's trying to put weight on it, and it's crumpling underneath him, and I'm just like, dude, what did you do? And I went out. He was able to get up in this chair, but it took him 2 tries, and because he likes the chair that Galen's sitting in, and I went over, and like you do when you have a pet, I just very gently put just a tiny bit of pressure bit by bit up his leg, and when I got up to his hip, he like pulled away from me, and I'm like, oh crap, he's like injured his hip or something.
Do that anyways.
He will. But I mean, I stayed up with him for about an hour because I was worried he was going to hurt himself worse, and he finally just went to sleep. But he was limping really badly the whole time and meowing at me, and I'm like, oh man, it was Friday because I remember thinking, oh man, it's like too late to take him to the regular vet. if this is actually broken, we've got to take him to the emergency vet. And I'm like thinking that through in my head because it's the weekend. And yeah, and then like by the time you got up, he still had a tiny limp, but it was like nothing.
He didn't when I first got out.
Oh really? He
And
did
then,
later.
And then like an hour later, I saw him limping a little bit, and I'm like, oh, okay, so there is something.
You just twisted it or something.
And like 20 minutes later, it was absolutely fine.
But we think he might have been trying to get on that table that we were talking about that seemed like he couldn't have made that table. And yet it was obvious that things had been moved on that table in such a way that Puss had been on that table.
No, I saw him on the table.
Oh, you actually saw him?
No, I came around the corner the other day, and he was up on this high table with nothing around it. And he can't really make those kind of jumps anymore. And I was like, holy shit, that's impressive, Puss.
Yeah, he must have gone out to the bun. Yeah.
There's a bench, but it's pretty far away. And unless his claws are like right on his back paws were like right on the edge of it when he took off, and he took off hard, there's no way he could have made it. And I'm thinking like if one of his paws wasn't positioned right and he thought the friction would get him there, he probably went just ass over teacup.
I shouldn't laugh. You used one of my expressions.
Oh, that's not one of your expressions.
Well, no, but he makes fun of me for using old people expressions.
That's an old person.
And it is one that I use.
You guys remember ass over tea kettle, right?
Oh,
yeah. Mike says, good morning, Bums, and good morning, my furry little buddy. And yeah, all fun and games until you throw a hip out. Yeah,
it's so true. Having dislocated my hip, I agree with that. It's all fun and games until you slide down an embankment during an ice storm and get your body jammed up underneath the car and dislocate your pelvis.
Yeah.
Because that's what I did.
Friggin' Puss. So we've had eventful times. We finally went out and saw our friend's screen house.
Yes.
We got to hang out with Dean and Val.
Oh my gosh, we talked about going up there for so long.
I had a blast.
Yeah, it was a great night.
Got to see all the toys. He keeps sending me pictures of the got these two big speakers made out of styrofoam. Sound unreal. Super crisp mids. It's great.
I actually laid out the things that Val gave me to bring over on Cockpit Coffee, but now they're in the next room because I forgot to bring them to the next room.
Oh, that's why she gave you a whole gift package. No, super fun night. Had corn and veggies in the smoker.
Yeah. They were very kind, and they're very kind people. But it's like they could have just had burgers and hot dogs, and I would have had some chips, and I would have been happy. But they were like, Allison's a vegetarian, so let's grill vegetables on the grill. And I'm like, wow, really? And so they went out and they got like mushrooms and zucchini, and you love all that stuff too, and onions and let's see, green red pepper.
It was cool on the smoker though.
It was really, yeah.
I never had corn on the cob on the smoker.
Yeah, because it wasn't actually the grill; it was the smoker, and the corn was so yummy. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. It was really cool.
Now I want it like that all the time.
But yeah. Anyway, so we got to hang out with them and drink a few very exotic beers.
Yeah.
And I know unfortunately I can't drink like I used to, but I thankfully had saved enough during the week where I could have a drink or two, and I
taste it anyway.
I probably didn't have the equivalent of a drink even, but I got to have little tastes of everything,
and a lot of stouts, which is right up my alley. I think I'm actually a little bit more into stouts than you are.
Mm-hmm.
And I never want like a ton of it. Like I love going to one of our favorite bars that our friends own, 2 Feet, and whenever they have a stout, I'll do like a 10-ounce pour because a 16 sometimes seems a little too much, a little too heavy, but like a 10-ounce pour is just perfect for me. And I love to enjoy those deeper flavors.
Then we my God, then we went out to I went out to Randy's again to visit my Gretch. Um,
We love
went, to,
Randy.
went out to Sticks, Picks, and Strings with Kaz Childs.
I was there too.
It was yes, that's right. I forgot. Um, she's a among other things a local musician in the area and someone I actually consider quite an influential musician
I would
in
agree.
the area.
Yeah.
Um,
She makes things happen.
yeah.
She's one of those.
But no, yeah, not in a like a type A personality way.
No,
Just very
she's a facilitator.
yeah.
She's like, I meet these fascinating people over here, and oh, and I met these fascinating people over here. We should all get together and make something happen.
She's
She's one of those.
Anyways, we went out there. I wanted to show her that place because I think that store was right up her alley.
Oh, totally.
I think it was. And as soon as we get in there, Randy didn't disappoint me. He's like,
he was ready for us. We didn't tell him we were coming.
No, we never tell him we're coming. And he's like, he goes, hey, he goes, you know all the things about stuff that makes sound. So come here, and he pulls out this. I swear to God, he pulls out a friggin'
Omnicord.
Suzuki Omnicord. If you don't know what that is, we actually have one.
I was gonna say I own one.
You should bring it out and show them actually.
Sure.
So it's like an auto harp, but it's electric. And I figured these things are just.
I can't get around it.
Yeah, just do it. We figured these things are just a gimmick. I didn't realize they still made them. They still sell them, and like the new versions sell for like without the case, without anything, like $850. They're ridiculous.
Well, and they're not just a joke. I mean,
no.
So I'm I recognize that I'm dating myself by telling people this, but so part of my musical history is that while Galen was 13 years old playing in bars with his mother bringing him in because he couldn't get in without his mother there to get him in, I was touring with my mother. And my mother and I spent 6 years, also, my junior high and high school years, singing in a different church almost every Sunday.
So, this is...
Can I finish what I was saying?
I was in the middle of a story.
Oh, okay. All right.
And then you can finish what you were saying. So, he pulls out one of these things, sets it on the table, and we just all start jamming with it. And then like Kaz picks up a banjolele. We got some clip of that online. But yeah, it's the wildest thing. And his is a lot more sophisticated than this one.
Yeah, this is like a lesser, earlier model probably.
Yeah. But and I don't know. I wouldn't dare say what price he has on it. But it's somewhere in the middle between this one and the new ones they have out there. But your instrument. But yeah, you drag your finger along the thing. That's like dragging your finger along strings.
But it's flat. It's a sensory pad. It's a sensor pad.
Yeah, it's wild.
And you press these buttons to get different chords. Like this row is major, this row is minor, this row is with the seventh added. And you can have rhythm going behind it or not, and it's literally an electric auto harp. And so I was saying my mom and I toured for 6 years as a gospel group, representing a missionary foundation and promoting that and getting volunteers and support for that. So I played keys and this, and my mother sometimes played this while I was playing keys. So this was actually an integral part of that whole show, if you will, that we did for years. So it wasn't just a toy, but at the same time, it's quite hokey.
Well, it totally does. It totally looks like a toy. I always kind of thought of them as like, well, if you don't know how to play anything, that's what you play. But like the new ones are MIDI-able, so you can play like any instrument. Like you can plug them into like a keyboard or a sound bank or your computer, and like, I'm assuming play like any instrument off it. And they actually have a history in in pop music. If you know the so in the newer models than this, there's a Rock One drum setting because they have the drums on it, and the Rock One setting is actually the song Gorillaz Clint Eastwood. They used that for Gorillaz Clint Eastwood.
Sorry if I'm distracting.
Yeah, that's. Turn it up so they can hear it.
You can adjust the tempo.
And it does kind of sound like it sounds like a Casio keyboard from the middle 80s.
So that's how it works. And you got a bunch of different rhythms, and you can change the rhythm tempo. There you go.
But it's appealing to a lot of people who don't really play music that much because you can't hit a wrong note on the thing. It changes.
I mean, you can hit a wrong chord.
The strumming section, when you hit the chord, like that one won't even make a noise until you hit the chord. And then when you hit the chord, the strumming section is diatonic within that chord. So it's kind of like it's almost like having a vocal harmonizer where like you strum a guitar chord and you sing and it does the background vocals behind you. It's kind of like that.
You can have that like sustained thing behind you or not. I was never a big fan of that. It was a little too much.
That's it right there.
I'm happy, feeling sad of the sunshine. In a bag, I'm useless. Not for long, my future is coming on. It's happy.
Yeah, so that one does have that. Okay.
Yeah, you just have to slow down the rock.
Someone let me out of my cage. I don't know. Anyways, that's then yeah, I was in the middle of a story about Kaz.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I was onto something though. Hang on just a second.
Oh my fuck.
Sunday morning rain is falling. I don't know. Okay, go ahead.
Anyways, we went over and then I got to plug that Gretsch into a I think it's 71 or 73 Fender twin reverb amplifier, and oh my god, that thing sounds so incredible. Those two things together, that Gretsch and that twin reverb, and it makes me really wish I had room on the boat for both those things.
You definitely do not. Maybe the guitar.
Maybe the guitar. The guitar might be.
Sounds really good.
The guitar might be in a near future requirement. That amp sounded so good.
But I mean, really, are you actually going to carry that around anywhere and play it?
No, that would
stay
definitely
stay here in the Newburgh
Yeah.
processing facility, and
I don't use amps when I gig out. That would all be like if I wanted to record something. But honestly, I've got the amp emulator that I love the sound of, but that sound was, yeah. Everybody said we need a bigger boat.
Yeah.
I agree. buy a bigger boat, then I can put it on it.
Yeah. So what else did we do with Kaz? Kaz and I played together a little bit over at Randy's. But I love how Randy just sees us coming and he's already thought about what interesting things that make noise can I bring out because the sail bums are here. And he'll say that.
Oh yeah.
Well, the sail bums are here. I got to bring out something interesting.
Oh yeah, and he didn't even bring. He totally didn't even mention this one. But I was sitting there looking, and he's got this weird ass guitar sitting on a stand. I'm like, Randy, what is that? And he goes, I don't even know. The guy just brought it in, and he wants to sell it. And I'm looking at it, and I'm like, and it's got this weird headstock that's like got like a knob on it.
And the body was almost like violin-like.
And I'm like, this is Japanese. This is like vintage Japanese. And I did an AI. I took a couple pictures and sent it to AI chat. And yeah, what kind of guitar was that?
I can't remember the name, but you found it.
Yeah, I found it,
And he was right. It was a vintage Japanese thing.
Yeah, it wasn't just a piece of junk. It is a Tiesco archtop electric guitar, sold under various names in department stores or catalogs like Silvertone and Sears and Montgomery Ward or Lafayette.
Montgomery Ward.
Um,
What was the name
and
again?
it's like a Sears Silvertone, an old Sears Silvertone. They're kind of related to the Danelectra somehow, and I forgot how, but they're those go for bucks. I'm sorry, what
was the name again?
Tiesco?
Tiesco?
Yeah, Teisco.
Do we have a price on that, or should we put our fact checker on that?
No, I have a price on it.
Oh, okay.
Low end, non-working or heavily worn is $100 to $200.
Oh, great.
Functional but worn, which is I think this one is $200 to $400. Excellent condition or rare model, which this one might have been. I don't know. It wasn't in excellent condition, but it might have been a rare model. $400 to $700.
It was really interesting looking, though.
And it said, if it's working well and all original, even with cosmetic wear, you're probably looking at a $300 to $450 range. But that's the thing is like you need like an expert like in vintage Japanese models to take a look at that because there are collectors out there that just do that. And
if it just happened to be one of those harder to find models,
yeah, if it just happens to be,
might be worth $700.
Or if not, that's who you're gonna get the main, because nobody. I mean, like $300 to $400. That's like, beginner, intermediate guitar price range. Nobody's gonna take a look at that guitar level and be like, oh, I want that,
right.
because it's kind of old and worn looking. They're not gonna understand. It did have a break in the the edging on the binding on the neck, so that would bring down the value. But forgot about that. But anyways, that's gonna a collector. He needs to find a collector for that one.
Well, and the other thing that he had that I've been thinking about getting for quite a while now is a concertina. So I was able to put my hands on that and mess with it for a while. I didn't have a note chart though, and those are very weird.
I have no idea how to play a concertina.
Every button is a different note, and you've got buttons on both sides, and they don't necessarily go in a very obvious pattern that I could find. I got a little better with it after playing with it for like 10 minutes, but I still couldn't quite figure out the direction that the scale went. It seemed kind of, and it's sorry, different notes whether you're pulling out or pulling in. So whether it's you're pushing air out or you're pulling air in, it was different notes. So you got to keep that in mind. So every button is two different notes.
That fucked me up. I think it's a cycle of fifths on the way the buttons are done, and I'm not sure if it's like because it's like a little chord, right? Every time you, yeah, it's like a chord when you press the button, right?
Every button is one note.
Every button's one note. Okay. Is it diatonic? I think it is.
It might be.
I think it's like a harmonica.
I decided to not waste any more time on it, and I was just going to look up a chart. But
I think it's like a harmonica, but the buttons are arranged in the cycle of fifths.
that would make sense.
But yeah,
But I would love to have one, but I have yet to find one under like $300. And I would love to get an older used one. I'm sorry, my allergies are killing me today. I'd love to find an older used one that didn't cost quite so much, even if it wasn't in optimal condition, just so that I could mess with it for a while and see if I enjoy playing it before I spend $300 or $400
well,
on one.
that's the problem. If they're not in optimal condition, they're not going to play.
And I'm not going to enjoy
And,
messing
yeah.
with it. Yeah.
And I mean, you're going to spend. I mean, that's probably the best deal you're going to get on one right there. Actually.
Yeah, he said he'd sell me that for like 300. Yeah, and
Yeah.
I've seen them for. I mean, they can go up into the thousands for really ornate ones. That was a very basic one, but they're more expensive than even the ones on like Amazon
They're super expensive.
Are around $300, the brand new ones.
Because I mean, I think they all have to be like. I mean, I'm sure they have factories where they're just whipping them out, but hands have to go on them.
Mm.
You know, it's not like you can just mold it, put it through a CNC machine, and throw it out the door. You know.
Mm-hmm. So I looked that particular one up that he had in there, and I found a whole bunch for sale on eBay for around $300 to $400. So that price was very fair. But I'm going back and forth between like, would it be better for me to get that one because that's a little older and maybe originally a much nicer instrument, or is it better to get a brand new one like off Amazon for $300 that nobody's messed with and things aren't going to go wrong with it as easily? I don't know. Or do I just not do that right now because I have enough going
on? Yeah, we both have instruments we haven't even played all that much. You got the Hooter there.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Melodica. We somebody gifted us.
Yeah, we got that.
Gifted you.
Got that right before we left, so I haven't. I should have brought it with me. I don't know why
I didn't. I don't know why we. I don't know why that was a misstep on our part.
It was a point where the car was getting really full, and it was like, I don't know if we don't need to bring everything, and I left it there, and I'm like, why did I leave it there?
I know. I was already bringing two or three. I was bringing 3 guitars, but they all had a purpose. The reason why I was bringing them, but you definitely should have brought that. But we'll be back.
And some of your guitars are staying up here too.
Yeah, 2 of those guitars are staying up here. Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe 3 if you buy some other guitars.
I don't know what I'm doing. But the bass and my acoustic are staying up here, and then I'm good, thank you. So we went to also the Rockland Boat Show.
Oh yeah.
That was fun. It was fun visiting all the vendors. There were some really cool vendors down there. The main reason why we went is because Portland Pudgy was going to be there, and we wanted to connect with those people.
Well, I need to thank you for my T-shirt.
And we walk up to them. We're like, hey, and they're like, hey, you interested in the? There's a couple of younger couple, very very nice. They're like, hey, you want to you interested in Pudgy? And we're like, we own one. He goes, oh, dude, you get T-shirts. And so he gave us T-shirts because we own a Pudgy. And we started talking and showing pictures and everything. And they were like super interested in what we do, and they had interacted with us online before too. So
they were like, we need to hire social media. And then I showed him, we were talking about how we put the lights inside the dinghy and stuff, and I showed him that. He's like, I've seen that. I'm like, I know, because you guys like reposted it.
So yeah, it was fun getting face to face, with them. And it was actually the owner's daughter, and I assume the guy was her boyfriend or the guy that worked there. I don't know.
I believe he worked there. I don't think they were a couple.
Too bad for him. She was cute.
I could be wrong. He could have also been her boyfriend and worked there, but I don't know.
Anyways, they were a lot of fun, and a woman who made upholstery, like boat cushions, like really made them really well.
Her seams were like impeccable.
Yeah,
like, she had a bunch of samples there, and I was like, damn.
And she was super adorable. And what is all the shit she like described all the stuff she's like a fireman and a fucking EMT.
Yeah, she's like a paramedic.
And she's like, I used to do this, and then the pandemic hit, and I decided to do something else. And no, she was in marketing, and she goes, I was in marketing, and I hated it, so I quit that, and I became a fireman, and then an EMT. And I'm like, you're like fucking 20. How old did you do that?
She was really probably like 27.
Oh my god.
She could have been 18. She
was
one of those tiny.
And it's like, then we started this business, and I'm like, oh my god. But,
yeah, she just said I just wanted to be able to call my own shots and do work when I wanted to do work, and so I went and did an apprenticeship and learned how to do upholstery.
Oh yeah, she went through a whole apprenticeship. Yeah.
It shows her work was really
insane.
Good. So she's Siren Studios in Maine, and I can you run your hand through here? Your gray stripe was standing up like Cruella there. There you go.
I just woke up.
It was so weird. You'd mess with your hair, and all of a sudden, just the gray thing was up like a something about Mary drape up there. But she was Aiden was her name, and she was really nice. I actually posted a thing about her on our page.
She's super adorable.
Yep, said we'd help refer some work to her.
What I want to do is if we buy this catamaran, there's 2 seats that normally go with this catamaran that weren't on this catamaran, and they look like cajones. And what I really want to do is have 2 cajones and have her make the tops, so people could sit on them comfortably.
But
they're still cajones. So that would be killer. Are you kidding me?
I'm guessing most of our regulars probably know what a cajon is, but it's those boxes that people sit on and play like it's a percussion instrument. But yeah, the way the salon next to the galley is set up, it's a kind of a U-shaped, loosely U-shaped seating area, and then it's got 2 independent seats on the other side of the table that are basically boxes with cushions.
They're just free-floating boxes because it's a catamaran. You can do that apparently on catamarans.
And then you could move those around. You could take them out and have them in the cockpit if you wanted to. You could really move them anywhere. Into different positions. Yeah, I like that idea a lot. I think that would be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Oh, you came on our boat and you didn't bring an instrument? No problem. Your seat is one.
Sound like Oprah.
You get a cajon and you get a cajon.
Beatnik hippies. Yes, we are. We are.
Even if we don't have her do that, I think I will do that. Even if we don't have her do that.
You're saying it would be too expensive. Well, it's like it's a square. It's a square stuff.
I think you underestimate how much people pay for upholstery, but.
No, I know, but it's like it's just like it's a little fucking tuft.
Mm.
It's like
I'd probably have her do it so that it had like the fabric come down over the side just a little bit and snap so that it didn't move around.
I don't know how much you can encroach on those before it affects the sound.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Anyways, this is just a thought. We might not even get that boat. So
or Velcro. Velcro would work too.
Yeah, Velcro on the top would be the move, I would think. Anyways, it was a fun thought. What else did we do? We hung out with Riff and Paige.
Yeah.
Rick Johnson. And just to hang out, just to have some fun, and yeah, we went and had Gagan's wings with them, and then Allie had to meet some friends, so we went over to the casino and um, lost. I think I lost $2. Um, but we had fun.
Yeah, it was fun that I had to take off, but I also I made wonderful plans with another friend for dinner, and that was the only night that week that she could do it, so I couldn't change it. But I get to see everybody, so that was
And
fun.
after they were down, I walked down to the waterfront, said hi to Neil, and they scooped me up, and we went down to watch Steve play pool. So that was fun. Yeah. Oh, then we went to two parties yesterday.
Yeah, yeah, we were
Man,
popular.
we've been busy.
This was a very busy
Yeah, it
week.
was a very social week. Didn't get much done, but it was a very social week. No, we got some stuff done.
We got I got a lot of
Yeah,
stuff
you
done.
did.
And you helped with a lot of it.
And I helped.
Well, it's
So let me finish. We we had two parties yesterday. One was a pool party with um, most most of it from Rocky, some of it from Rocky, um, and
which is also four members of the band Rock Revelation that we were in for a lot of years.
yeah, whatever, however combination you want.
People we played with a lot.
A bunch of friends got together and hung out by the pool. Sonny's husband, who usually doesn't get out much, came, so that was fun hanging out with him. Um, and then we went to see our friends Ryan and Diane.
Their birthdays like 2 days apart, and it's the week of their anniversary.
Yeah, anniversary, which we played at their wedding 10 years ago, about this time. So that's insane. That is weird. If you look at pictures of us from that wedding, you wouldn't believe it was 10 years. It looks like a long, because I had short hair.
You had short hair. My hair was I was almost rocking a mullet. I don't know what was going on with my hair, but I saw that picture recently, and I was like, what? There's way too much shortness on the top and longness in the back there. Who was doing my hair at that point? And let's make sure I don't go back to that.
Yeah, so we got to hang out with Wendy, who you see on here quite a bit. Wendy Masali. Absolute delight of a person.
And one of our longtime big fans. She lives now on the west coast of Florida, but she was up here at the same time, and Diana's her best friend. So we all got to go to the party at the same time, and that was really awesome.
Yeah, and Deb was there, Deb and Bob, and we get to catch up with them, a bunch of other people too. But the band that was playing, their party, was Crossroads. Now, a very, very brief history. No, I can do that. It's a matter of, are you, if I can just, yeah. So, very, very brief history. Allison and I met in a rock band, playing with a guy named Brady Harris, who was a childhood friend of mine. We grew up playing music together. And we were in Groove Wheel. Some of you know that band for quite a while. So I hadn't seen Brady. We hadn't seen Brady in a long time.
Maybe at least 10 years, maybe 15.
Yeah. And so that was kind of a big deal to see him. And his keyboard player, or the keyboard player for that band, is the keyboard player for the original Alice Names in the Flames band, which I was in the early '90s, and we used to hang out and just have a ball.
He's a really nice guy.
He is so funny. I forgot how funny he was. I mean, he's fucking hilarious. I totally forgot how funny he was. So dry, and um, so he's playing keyboard. So it was like people we hadn't seen in so long, and yeah, it was really cool. And seeing them play together, it was like wild. Um, you know, you can only imagine the stories that went on when they first got together.
Oh yeah, I'm sure they've heard a lot of stories about Galen. I'll put it that way.
Probably a lot of them not true, but
yeah.
Yeah, Jay reminded me of some story. I was leaving a party at his house one time, and it was like super early in the morning, late at night, and he his girlfriend at the time had made pancakes or waffles or something. It was pancakes, and I had this, and I was just obliterated. So I was like, okay, pancakes. And I started eating the pancakes, and I didn't realize I called a cab, or somebody called me a cab.
Probably somebody called you a cab.
And I'm friggin' sitting there, and all of a sudden I hear a honking, and the cab's in the. I'm like, oh no! And I really wanted these pancakes, so I got these pancakes, syrup and everything. I just folded them up and put them in my pocket so I could have them. Just fucking headed out the door into the cab with my a pocket full of pancakes.
Pocket full of pancakes. That's a song. Pocket full of pancakes.
Pocket full of pancakes. I'm totally gonna write that song now.
Oh, it should also be a poem by Val.
A pocket full of pancakes. Yeah.
Dean, if Val's not listening, pass that on to her. Pocket full of pancakes.
Oh my god. the next morning, later the next morning, after they got a couple hours rest, they started cleaning up, and they found a down in their basement in the heating room, the furnace room, they found the local trumpet player passed out with puke all over him with his trumpet, just curled up in the frickin'.
And knowing who this trumpet player was, it's extremely amusing to
me.
I had not heard that story before.
Not a young guy.
Not a young man.
Yeah. So anyways, it was good to catch up with those guys and to hear them play and see how they've progressed and what they've been doing.
And this party that Brian and Diane threw is something they do every year. It's like a tradition, and a lot of the same people go to the party. And so there were several people there that I only know through that party, that it was just kind of nice to see them and be like, hey, how's it going?
Yeah.
And we've probably been going to that party. Well, we've been going for 10 years because they got married 10 years ago.
Oh, more than 10 years.
Because I think they were doing the birthday party before they got married. And they always had a huge 4th of July blow up.
We confused that with 4th of July. In fact, we asked them this year, it's like, hey, we're going to be up. It's like, because we were like, oh, we could play their 4th of July party again. And we're like, because we do that with a full band, and I thought that'd be fun. We're like, yeah, we're coming up. You still having the 4th of July party? And they're like, no, we don't do that anymore. And we kind of dropped it. And we're like, oh shit, they're not. And I didn't, for some reason in my head,
yeah,
I wasn't like, oh, they have an annual party beyond that. And
I think they thought we weren't going to be around.
We didn't take it to that next level and say, well, yeah. So, but that would have been fun to have the whole band. Might not have been available. But.
Well, I'm seriously considering working out. I've been taking some notes about a whole bunch of festivals that have happened while we're here and things that we could have been playing, including the boat show.
Yeah, definitely should have been playing the boat show.
We definitely should have been playing the boat show.
Probably is the duo for that.
Oh yeah. But what I was going to say is we might want to actually plan like a month next summer, and have me book a whole bunch of those sort of things and come up and do like 10 shows. Or depending on what we're doing.
I don't know.
we're having some planning.
One summer up here, we did a full summer. It might be time to take a summer off.
We're kind of in a one of I won't get into all the details by any means, but we're going through a little bit of a transitional period of trying to figure out what's next for us. What's next for us will include being on a boat. What's next for us will include the water, will include music, but the shape of that can go a couple of three different directions.
Yeah.
And and it will heavily dictate where we are over the next year. And so it's and this is a decision that can't linger. Like, we need to make the decision this week.
Yeah, like
So
yeah, like we need to by Wednesday we need to have the decision made and a plan in place.
so I will speak only for myself and say I'm a little overwhelmed with that decision, and it's a lot to think about, but I also have to remind myself that also things can change. So even if we go a certain direction and decide to do blah blah blah, you know,
Well, things always change.
yeah,
Yeah, that's
we're not
that's a
locked
given.
into that forever. Kind
No,
of thing. That's what I mean.
no, and none of it's bad.
No, none of it's all
no,
of it is different opportunities.
yeah, it's like I'd rather have way too many opportunities and sit and be overwhelmed for a minute than have no opportunities whatsoever and just
Absolutely.
be stuck. Not that what we do, getting stuck at what we do, is probably not a bad thing.
Yeah,
I
none
mean,
of it.
and we can just say fuck it all and continue doing that too. I mean,
Continue doing what?
sailing our boat around playing in tiki bars every night.
Oh yeah,
That
we
does
could
not
yeah.
suck.
Well, that's one of the options is just
Yeah.
continuing what we're doing. You know,
No, well, I mean, and that will probably
that's going to be part of it anyway.
yeah, it's going to be
but
part of it anyways. But it's like, what boat are we sailing around in, and where are we sailing?
where are we sailing it around, and are we here a little bit more or not? Kind of thing.
Yeah, we probably, you're probably right though. In the next couple of years, we should take advantage of Maine summers and come on. You're probably right on that.
Sometimes.
But ask me again. Yeah, don't ask me right now, because right now I'm ready to go home.
I know that, and this is a constant, and I don't want to call it a struggle because it's really not a struggle, but this is a constant it, potential barrier that I'm always trying to break, where we don't know exactly where we want to be, or there's some reluctance to being in a certain area, but I know that, like, if I want those gigs next summer, this is when I need to book them.
Yeah.
But so, and then we wind up with months that we don't have things set up because we kind of wavered, and we can't afford to do that.
Well, I mean,
we can.
yeah,
we can,
we're not in the position. Let's take advantage of that position that we're not. We're not living gig to gig right now, so we can go in an area and build up, and so the next time we're there,
yeah,
we're
exactly.
good. But
and there's some areas I really wanted to. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
But we're always going to be hitting Riceville Beach and Stewart. Those are two of our favorite spots.
But like, we've completely bypassed South Carolina so many times now. Like, the first time we did it was like, oh wow, I can't believe we're just blowing through South Carolina. We're not even really stopping. Then we did it again. Then we did it again. It's just like, at some point we should stop in South Carolina.
Yeah, I think there was a reason though. But I mean, let's explore it.
Yeah, it was always a case of needing to get
it was
up or down.
Yeah, but I'm not sure. Like, I'm not sure Charleston is very. I mean, there's places that seem really cool, but they're not really cool for people who live aboard.
Right. It's hard to anchor.
They make it super hard because people leave derelict boats and they make a bunch of rules and laws that don't affect those people at all, but affect us. And it makes it very hard for us to go in and anchor someplace and take our boat ashore and do jobs and get groceries and do the things that we need and want to do and make it enjoyable for us. They kind of legislate that because they don't want people bringing their boats in there. But we're not the ones leaving our boats. I'm not going to leave my fucking boat somewhere. I live on my boat.
Right.
that's
But that's going to heavily dictate how I book this year, because Florida has instituted some pretty strict rules, and every single community is a little different.
They do that, but they don't enforce them though.
But there are people getting fines. We're seeing that on social media.
But that's what they do, is they make these rules, and then they'll go out and they'll fine people and they'll make a big stink about it, but then they won't do anything about it. They already did this. Florida already had a rule, and I remember this happened. It was like when we first started out, or right before that, they made this law that you like down. It was in oh shit, what's that harbor? Biscayne Bay. They made a rule that you have for, they could tell you needed to move, you need to demonstrate that you can move your boat, and you had to like demonstrate it, and they like were,
and that's reasonable.
And they were fine. That's reasonable. But of course, and then people were like with just pure sailboats. But nobody just has a pure sailboat with no engine. But people are, these people are like, oh, this isn't fair to sailboats, and it's like, dude, all you need to do is turn your engine on, go, like so many, minutes that way and so many minutes that way, and plop your anchor back down. That's really all you need to do. And if you need to do it because you're some sort of purist under sail, then just do that. Because if you can't do that, why the fuck do you have a boat? So it's like, that wasn't an unreasonable law, and a bunch of people got fined, and people made a big stink about it. But that's what they wanted. They wanted to make a big stink about it, so people would be afraid to come to an anchor in Biscayne Bay, and that weren't quite sure of how their motor worked. And okay, fine, but they never did. Now they're not. Now they need to make up new laws because they're not enforcing that law, and it's just.
And it's based on population. Like if the population is above a certain point for that, like if Stewart had X number of people in it, then you can only stay at anchor for 10 days, and then you have to move to another community. You can't stay there. That's a real problem for us when I'm booking like 3 or 4 weeks of gigs in a place, or like Carolina Beach where we booked 2 months of gigs. We're not going to be able to do that anymore. Now we did talk to the harbor master, and he said, don't not book gigs. Talk to me first. Let's see what we can work out. And supposedly Florida, and I need to look into this more because this all happened right as we were leaving. Supposedly Florida has some sort of permit that you can buy through the town to stay longer under certain circumstances. So I'm hoping that when we go in and I start actually talking to harbor masters, it'll be like oh, well, you guys are a little different. You're working. We know how long you're here. You're going to be here for 2 months. We know you're going to leave after that. You got to buy a $50 permit, and then you can stay here longer. I'm hoping it's going to be something like that. And we still shouldn't have to put money down, but that's more reasonable than you got to leave in 10 days. And then what if it's bad weather? What if I've got 9 days of gigs, like, from the first gig to the last gig, and then the day we have to go to leave, there's a huge storm. You know what I mean? There's got to be some wiggle room there.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't, unfortunately, I think most of the people who are making these rules and laws are not boaters.
No, they definitely aren't.
And so they don't.
Or they're just weekend warrior,
Right. And so they don't understand safety issues and everything else that's involved.
Yeah.
Or we come into Stewart and all of a sudden our engine is not working properly and it's not safe for us to run it, and we're waiting for a part to come in at the marina. There's got to be some wiggle room there, because you don't want that boat hitting another boat because you made us move it.
Yeah.
I'm getting fired up.
Well, anyways, they'll probably, by the time we get back down to Florida, they'll have forgotten that they made those laws and stopped enforcing them. So it's not.
Well, half of the areas we go to don't have police on the water and don't have harbor masters, and it's like, who's
Well, even if they have police on the water, they still don't, like, they, half of them don't even enforce law or even know what the laws are. They're just out there looking for people. And this is good. They're out there looking for people doing stupid things.
Yeah.
Which is, yes, I appreciate that.
Or cooking meth on their derelict boat,
Oh,
which is
God.
totally a thing.
Yeah. But So I mean, I get it. We, like I've always said, we, you know, we dislike the derelict boat problem probably more than people on land do, because it affects us directly. You know, when these people break off, or a, an anchorage is too full because it's full of people not tending their boats, and you know, half sunken wrecks everywhere. It's
It
like
affects us much more than the view.
yeah, that I mean, it's totally it's more of a problem for us than it is for you. But you know, it's like, but we know that you're not just going to legislate that out of existence. I mean, just
And I don't really understand it. And I know we've said this before, but there are two harbors we can think of immediately where they've just gotten rid of this problem. It just doesn't exist.
yeah.
And so why aren't they talking to those places and just modeling what they're doing?
I have no idea.
Manchester by the Sea and Newport, Rhode Island,
Yeah,
they've got it figured out. There are not derelict boats. Nobody's causing a problem. Everyone is pleasant. The harbor masters are completely reasonable. The rules are reasonable, and everybody
well, it's
lives
because
in harmony.
it's because they have harbor masters, and the harbor masters are on top of shit. So Carolina Beach should be the same way. They have two harbor masters the last
Yeah.
time we were there, and both of them seem like
Great guys.
reasonable, great guys. Still, they keep passing these laws though, and it's like,
And they have a fraction of the amount of boats in the two areas I just mentioned. Manchester by the Sea and Newport, Rhode Island are so many boats, so many boats.
tons of boats.
Carolina Beach has like a fifth of that,
Well,
maybe a tenth.
no.
Well, not if you include the marinas.
If you
and
count
stuff.
the marinas, they
Yeah.
probably are right on par.
But in terms of folks on
Newport-
moorings and anchorages,
Well, Newport, Rhode Island's pretty full, but yeah. And he's just got one simple rule. It's like you're 2 weeks and get out.
for 4 days.
Yeah, for 4 days. Come back in 4 days, and you can stay for 2 more weeks.
Yep, and it's all about demonstrating that you can move your boat, and your everything is functional, and you're going somewhere every 2 weeks. So hopefully you're pumping out, or you're going out to sea and
And
purging.
I don't know if he like what he'll do if you don't do that, but um, must be doing something because people are motivated. They that law seems to be well respected there.
And he's got guys out on boats and
Yeah.
himself
Yeah.
going out there like
Every
okay,
day.
you came in that day. Yep, you guys have been, and they'll come up and talk to me. So you guys have been here about 9 days, right? And I was like, dang, these people know what they're doing. They're like paying attention.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of boats to track, but they do. They just do a sweep, just like a parking person, like a
Yeah.
parking meter person.
And they're not
you know?
dicks about it.
No, not at all. They'll hey, how you
Super
guys doing
nice
today?
guys, and
Yeah.
but it's like
You guys taking off in a couple days?
it's not a hard rule to follow, and it's not really unreasonable.
And they're also, it's like, okay, yeah, we were gonna leave tomorrow, but there's that big blow coming in, so I hope you don't mind if we just stay for 2 more days, and then we'll head
Yeah.
over to Block Island for a week. And they're like, yep, no problem, as long as you're communicating with us, it's fine.
Yeah.
You know.
But anyways, let's see, what else have we done? I think that we covered everything we did. What are we gonna do? We're
Oh,
gonna
let's see.
go see Riff again today.
We are
He's
gonna go see Riff too.
doing a he put together a benefit show for the Maine Veterans Project. There's a bunch of bands playing.
We found
Where
out-
is this?
It's in Newport at the what used to be the Millennium.
Oh, they are.
That we played it with Rock Revelation, but now it's called it's the Poorhouse. Poorhouse,
Oh, Poorhouse Spot. everything.
Somerset Poorhouse.
All right, so we'll go down and check them out.
Yeah,
be
we found.
interested and see what the Poorhouse did with it was the M Room, right?
Yeah, it was Millennium, and then it was the M Room, same
Yeah.
owners, and then the folks that own the Poorhouse in Bangor bought it, and they made it the Poorhouse Somerset.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Riv actually offered us a spot to play today, but it was only for half an hour, and it was like 6 to 6:30.
Oh, there's another band that wanted that. so,
Eventually, he had
yeah,
an opening, but we've got friends that are coming over for dinner tonight that we haven't seen for a little while, and very close friends of ours, and we could only meet with them tonight, so we didn't want to miss.
And I don't know if we'll get down. John Patterson's doing the Bond Me thing down in Winterport. I don't know if we'll get down there today, but I'll try this. Seemed like there was something else.
For some reason, this weekend was just a weekend where everybody wanted to do something with us, and that's absolutely lovely, and I love it. But
What was the other thing we had today, though?
That's all that I knew that we planned to do.
Oh, okay.
I think. Bond Me, if we could make it down. We've been pulling all sorts of stuff out of Galen's mother's house and going through it, and the kitchen right now is kind of, it looks like an antique shop. It's full of everything from old snowshoes to old CB radios. So we've got to clean that out before we go anywhere, so we have room to have dinner tonight.
Oh, that's right. Mike reminded us, had a shady developer bring a full-size 2-story house built on a barge and anchor it in Wrightsville, and it pissed everyone off. Yeah, we were reading about that. We were reading about that, and
that's huge.
Yeah, he went past the limit, and they were fining him so many dollars a day, and then he was right up to the point, because they in Wrightsville Beach, I forgot, you can tell me, but I forgot, you can only stay so many days, and then after that they can fine you like 25 or $50 a day for a while, and then there's another limit. When you reach that, they'll fine you $500 a day.
Mm-hmm. And he was at that point.
And he was right at that point, and they called either Larry or Jared, I don't know which one they called, down at Carolina Beach, and negotiated to be on a mooring for 10 days. And there was a big debate about it, and I don't know, whichever one it was, came up and actually inspected the boat, and agreed that it fit their guidelines according to the laws they wrote out, and what can go on those moorings and what can't go on those moorings. And it's kind of like Air Bud, no rules say the dog can't play basketball. It was kind of, no rules, you can't put a house on a mooring. So they I don't know what happened after that. I can't imagine they would have let them anchor for 10 days beyond that, because the anchoring situation out there, if you don't know what you're doing, is it's hard.
Carolina Beach is mayonnaise.
Yeah, it's not. It's fine. It's fucking fine. You just need to get your head out of your ass and do a 7-to-1 scope, instead of listening to everybody on the internet and saying, "Oh, I can do a 3-to-1 and it's fine." Shut. And it's like, and then they drag and they're like, "I don't know what happened." And it's like, because you're an idiot. That's what happened. And then, oh Jesus, don't they get pissed when somebody drags? They'll kick you out.
Oh yeah.
Like, you're not allowed in the bay.
Yeah, the harbor masters will come out and be like, "You're taking a ball or you're leaving."
No, they won't let them on the ball.
Oh, really?
No. If they find out you drag, they eject you.
That's not entirely true.
That's
not what happened to the catamaran that you saw go up on the...
Because he didn't know about it.
Oh.
We told him about it, because we thought they got cameras on. I thought he knew. And I started joking. I'm like, "Yeah, that was the other night," and friggin' woke up in the catamaran. And he was like, "What?" And he goes, "Oh, I would have friggin' sent them packing."
Oh, okay. Yeah. I didn't know that part.
Oh, he was pissed.
Oh.
Yeah, he was. No, if you drag, then he'll.
Bye.
Yeah, you're not taking an anchor. You're not taking a dock. You're out. Yeah, he gets really mad about that. It's gone back up the Cape Fear River. Okay, booted him from CB too.
They'll probably wind up in that spot that those people were just past the bridge, like on your way out. You know what I'm talking about, Mike? Where there was like a sailboat there for, I don't know, like a year and a half, and everyone was all upset that he was out there. I'm not going to be able to describe that very well. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I'm sorry, I was reading the comments.
Remember, you know how if you were driving, you could see over the bridge, there was somebody that was on the Cape Fear that was anchored on the way out there, and they were there forever, just one boat by itself. There was a family living on it, and everyone was all upset about it. In
Oh
Carolina.
no, that wasn't on the Cape Fear. That was in Snow's Cut
Oh,
by
okay,
the
all right,
bridge. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And yeah, they'll probably wind up parking it there.
No, he said they went up the Cape Fear. Um, yeah, there's not room. This thing is huge, I think, so I don't think there's room
Oh,
to
all
put
right.
it there. Uh, Becca asked if you registered as a business, does it make a difference? We're not. I mean, I guess we're registered as a business, but yeah, it does. With some people, it absolutely does make a difference when they find out they're providing a service for their local businesses and bringing in tourists, um, and helping their local businesses make money. They definitely have a better attitude towards us.
Yeah, yeah, they don't treat
And
us like tourists as much.
I don't know if Steve and Lisa Vance are on right now, but they also um, work in areas doing construction and boat projects, and I think they might they might have the same um, they might have the same experience.
And I know they do the same sort of things like we do, because Lisa and I have talked about that, where, we take the time to go in, and if we don't know them already, introduce ourselves to the harbor masters, tell them exactly what we're doing, how long we're there, or, we have those conversations. So there's no like, who are these people? And I think just us being really upfront like that, it makes their jobs easier. They're not trying to figure us out, so they just like us, and immediately because of that.
Valerie says she's at Bangor Beer Company and then 2 Feet.
Oh,
And then
nice.
thanks us for coming out to the Screen House. Well, thank you for having us
Thank
at the Screen
you.
House.
That was super fun.
Where's the fact checker? He is on. We saw him. He's here.
Yeah, and
We must have gotten our facts straight so far because he's
he's been quiet.
he's been quiet for a minute. So
Yeah, Larry, the Carolina Beach harbor master. He was the only one that was a harbor master when we first started going there. So I don't know if he's in transition of retirement or what, but yeah, he specifically told us, he's like, you guys are different. You're doing a service for a local business. So you talk to me if you have an issue. And I'm like, I really appreciate that.
yeah. All right. So we gotta go. We gotta clean up the downstairs a little bit.
Yeah, it
Um,
will only take us like half an hour.
yeah. Just need to bring stuff up to the storage area. I've got some older. One is a defunct instrument, but you wanted to keep it to do an art project with.
Yeah, it's like
And
a guitar that's kind of.
it's my old guitar, and it's like guitar I've had and written many songs on, and it was
All the more reason to
pretty
keep it.
prevalent through my childhood and early 20s. But it I thought it was a Yamaha. I thought it was a Yamaha, but it's actually an Eagleton. Like, so it's really
I don't think I've ever even heard of that.
it's not, well, it's kind of an off starter brand sort of thing,
Oh, like a Squire
and that's
kind of thing.
why it's somebody put steel strings on it at one point and dug up the frets, and it's so it's hurting. I knew it was kind of a thing, and I'd actually cut out. I made it electric at one point, so it's got like the cutouts for the preamps and everything I put in there. And then I took those out, and I don't even know what I did with that preamp, but I took it out of that guitar, so it's got like holes in the sides of it and stuff. So it's really not be a good boat practice guitar, but it's been down in a basement and really fucked it up. So it's not even good for that anymore. So, but if you want it for an art project, it's great. And I found my old Charlie Brown bass.
That he actually painted yellow with like the Charlie Brown stripe
Yeah, it
on
looks
it.
like Charlie Brown's shirt that I was using. That's a Squire. Was a P bass, but I put a jazz pickup on it. And I could rewire that, and I have another jazz pickup. I could put at least one pickup in it and make that a viable bass if I wanted to, but yeah, I'm not gonna. But you can do art with that too if you wanted to. Um, yeah, and then a bunch of yeah, just I'm gonna leave that radio down there for the time being, though. The CB.
The big one.
Yeah.
Oh, that's in a chair. We can leave that
Yeah,
there.
and
That's so heavy.
I gotta take that apart and um, find out what capacitors aren't working, and then I'll replace those capacitors and try to sell that. But I gotta start selling stuff. I'm gonna run out of time to sell it.
Yes, you are.
To sell stuff.
Yep. We're down to the like 2 weekish point.
If anybody wants a vintage Browning Golden Eagle CB with single sideband,
speak up now.
speak up. Yeah.
Forever miss the opportunity.
Yeah, I'm gonna sell that and buy that guitar for Randy. That's my goal.
Yep. You're gonna sell those snowshoes?
Get some vintage snowshoes, which are, I mean, they might as well have been made yesterday. They're friggin' from the 1960s, but
they're in great shape.
You know, you're talking about when, you know, handcrafted and people that knew how to make shit. The webbing on this is like a fucking tennis racket. It's like, yeah, it's tight, and it's it's all like waxed and, yeah, and the wood is in good condition. It's old. I mean, you could literally run a light sandpaper over it and put varnish on it if you wanted to, and it would look fucking amazing. And you know, if you did that, they'd probably be worth another. And these are worth like, you know, a couple $100 each pair. It's like yeah, you could put varnish on and probably sell them for $350, $400, because and people would hang them on the wall. But if you actually wanted a pair that weren't, you know, that just had, I mean, the wood isn't bad. It's just like a little grayed out. That's all. It's just the, you know.
I didn't know people would varnish them. I think that because it's so woven that you'd have little separations there weirdly.
No, I think that at one point, I think I actually remember the varnish, like seeing varnish flakes on them at one point.
Okay. I was thinking you'd wax it. But I don't know anything about snowshoes.
But anyways, so yeah, so you could and probably, you know, spend little time on it, very little time, and have, you know, those things are so expensive, they're unreal. I'm not going to be out snowshoeing it, but you could absolutely pop these on your feet and go out in, you know, 3 feet of soft snow and fucking
they work great.
Walk 10 miles. I mean, these things are like legit workable snowshoes.
But they're old enough and such great craftsmanship that they're also like antique, hang them on the wall, centerpiece in a big log home or something
both.
Like that. Yeah, or both.
Hang them on the wall and then freak everybody out by taking them down.
And they're huge.
Go
they're
for
like,
a walk.
They come up like when you stand them on their end, they come up to here on me.
Yeah. And it's two different styles too. It's like one is like the oval style, and one is the teardrop style. So I mean, that's just super cool. I think somebody might want them.
Yeah.
I think I don't know what I'll ask for them. I think I'm gonna might ask 200 for one, 175 for the other, because the other one of them has like some black gunk on it that I can't quite get off, like one little patch on the webbing. I don't know what got on it, and I don't want to use anything to try to get it off because I don't want to. It's not hurting anything. It's just a cosmetic thing, and yeah, I don't know enough about the coating that's on that string. Obviously, it's fucking awesome because it's been there for.
But you don't affect it.
You know, 50 plus years, but yeah. Anyways, I might ask like 175 for those and 200 for the other, and like give a deal if somebody wanted both of them. But,
there you go.
But anyways, Becky says hoping to get together before we go back south. Yeah, we'll try to make that happen too. It's
I think we've only seen Joe once too.
Yeah.
No, twice.
Al Allison, you and Nick can come to the Screen House anytime.
Thank you, Val. Yeah, we were talking about Nit and I were talking about the three of us getting together for a night. She mentioned something about last week. It was like the middle of the afternoon, and she said, "Did Val talk to you about tonight?" And we already had plans that night, so that wouldn't have worked out for me. But if we give a little bit more notice, I would love to make that happen.
My fucking hair today.
See what's going on with Nit this week.
Looks like I should be doing Shakespeare down by the river.
I'll Julie listen to that. She'll be excited.
And then get in my van down by the river.
Down by the river.
All right, we're gonna head. Thank you guys. We have a lot. We have like 11 people on.
Woohoo!
A lot of people today.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. We'll catch you guys later. We're gonna head out and try to get some stuff done.
Yeah, go support Riff and his fundraiser. And...
Yeah, if you're not, if you're in the area and you're not doing anything, I don't know what the cover charge is, but it goes to the main veterans people.
Yep, down at the Poorhouse, Somerset in Newport.
Yeah.
And I think it goes 2 to 9 today. And so just band after band after band.
Oh, we won't be there the whole time.
No, we're probably going to go down. Well, we've got our friends Amy and Kevin are coming over for dinner around 5 o'clock, so we'll be back.
So, but we
then.
we do want to pop in and say hello and support him, because Riff just does so many cool things. He raises money for so many charities.
Yeah.
He really doesn't make a big deal out of it, but like he used to do like the 12 days of Riffmas thing, where he would like give, they would show up to some underprivileged family's home with like a package of fucking toys and it's just, he just does a bunch of cool shit.
A lot like Bill Davis.
He's a cool guy.
Yep.
That guy, Bill Davis.
That dude. He's a good guy too. Martha says, howdy, gorgeous day. I know. Yeah. Oh, before we leave, Bill, if you're on, how did Christmas in July go? Did that go well? Wasn't that this last week? What?
Oh my God.
What?
Good thing you're cute.
What?
Christmas, say the name of the thing again.
Christmas in July.
In July.
Huh?
Christmas in July.
Oh, so it was 2 weeks ago.
It's probably last month, yeah.
Well, yeah, okay. It's only the 10th of August, so it's not that far ago.
Okay. He says it was great.
Good.
Christmas in July. When does that happen again?
Stop.
All right. We'll see you guys.
Time is flying here in Maine.